Hey everybody, it's Michael from Beretta Airguns with another tabletop comparison review. It's been about 5 years since I went through, I guess I'd say my favorite Beretta 92 style or M9 style BB guns. And at that time I only had BB and pellet guns to show you. So I had a selection of CO2 blowback BB pistols and then some rotary mag pellet pistols. We're going to start with the pellet pistols today, as you can see they're on the table. But I'm also going to get into some airsoft pistols because back then we didn't really have too many of the Beretta airsoft pistols that I could show you, and I didn't show any in that video. So today we're going to go through pellet first, then we're going to look at some BB pistols, then we're going to look at some airsoft pistols, and I'm going to pick out my favorite in each category after I show them off or showcase them, talk a little bit about each one. So first off, let's start with the pellet pistols. I don't have a ton of Beretta pellet pistols, but I do have the Caliber Crosman here and the Umarex version. So we'll kind of open these guns up. You can see they both come in plastic cases, which is nice. And we'll start off with the Caliber, and this is a Caliber Crosman. It's the CK92. So it's basically a conglomeration of Caliber, which is an Italian company, with Crosman, which is a US-based company. And it's a CO2 pellet pistol, okay? And it uses rotary magazines. So both of these guns are going to be using rotary magazines. And so to get to that rotary section, you just, let's take a look here. You just push this forward and then you can get to your plastic rotary mag, okay? Load that up. It takes 2, 4, 6, it looks like 2, 4, 6, 8 of them, okay? Yeah, it's going to shoot lead pellets, essentially 1.177 caliber lead pellets. And you just, to get to the CO2, you push this. So the magazine release is actually for the pistol grip on the right side. And then you have this interesting loading mechanism. So you kind of put a CO2 in there, tighten it up a little bit, and then you can kind of use this lever to pinch it tight. I remember doing it back in the day. It's a little finicky. It's not the easiest to use, but it does work, okay? So this gun has a safety. It's got adjustable sights. It's got a single and double action trigger, recessed barrel. It comes in this chrome or nickel plated version. I really like the look of it. It's got good weight. It's well over 2 pounds, okay? I guess the only downside is it does have a plastic rear sight. Just got to be careful with that. Really nice gun. But again, it's just a pellet gun, CO2, no blowback. You're not really going to get much in the way of blowback with these older pellet versions. This goes back a decade or two. It's definitely, I wonder if it actually has a date on here. Let's see here. I don't know if I can see anything because it is actually, you'll see there's some information on here. I don't know. Anyways, I got this many years ago, and even back then it was kind of a collector's item when I got it. There weren't a lot of them around. Okay, so let's take a look. So we'll leave that on the table just so we can kind of compare. For now, put that over there. All right, so let's look at the Umarex, and this is the Pietro Beretta M92 or Model 92 FS. Okay, and let's take a look at it. It's more of a satin, sort of golden nickel color. I don't know if you can see the color. And again, this is a, you gotta, no, trying to remember how to, so when you do this, it slides forward and always, that always falls out. I kind of like how the magazine stays put in the CK92, but you just have, you sort of rest the magazine here, right, like this, the right way, and then you just load it in. And this is your, right here, let's see here. So you can see here, you just gotta, if you're gonna angle it, you gotta put your finger in the way there. Okay, so that's how you, see, that's why I like the CK92. So you just, it should just go. It's stuck now for some reason. Okay, I had the magazine in backwards. That was my problem. So you have to have sort of those, let me show you, that's the front of the mag. That's the back of the mag. You can see how it's got the ridges on the back, okay? And you do have to give it a little push, but it does close, no problem. You do have these nice safeties here, okay, right? It's not a decocker, but it is a safety. It does work, right? Oh, it doesn't work. Isn't that interesting? Oh, okay, it does work. What it does is it just covers the firing pin. Let me show you. Okay, so you can actually see how the firing pin just rotates up. So now I'm not hitting it. That's how it works, okay? But you can pull the trigger. A little sketchy, a little scary, but it's not going to go off. and no white dot sights or anything like that. You do have the wood grips. You do have a little bit different loading system. Again, this one would be, okay, there you go. They're all a little bit different. So you have to push it. It's like the CK92. You push your magazine release, but it comes off on the right side instead of the left side. So again, it's a lever system, okay? So a lever system, you tighten this up finger tight and then push that in there like that. Again, it's going to be .177 caliber. You know, it doesn't really have as much of a recessed barrel, but you do have metal sights front and back. Let's take a look at them side by side. Okay. So pros and cons. I'm not going to get too into it, but I'm just going to say I do like the Beretta, the Umarex, just because it's German made, by the way. It's made in Germany. It just functions so well. I remember the CK92 was a little more finicky, like especially loading the CO2. We got a bunch of them in, and some of them had issues, and some of them were fine. But I know with these Berettas, these Umarex ones, they're all 100%. Such a nice gun with the wood grips. Everything just works. You got the metal magazines instead of the plastic magazines. I like the way the CO2 loads better in here. You know, other than I like the recessed barrel on the CK90 or the CK92, and maybe I like the finish better. But I do like the wood grips for sure on the Umarex. Okay, so let's put these guys away. Let's move on to the BB versions. Okay, we're going to start with the GSG92. This is probably the first cyber gun. And this is essentially it's a KWC pistol, and it's a Taurus copy because you can see here the safety is down here instead of on the slide. So it's more of a Taurus copy than a Beretta 92, but it's called the GSG92. It was really the only Beretta style BB gun we had when we first got them. Full blowback operation, full size dropout metal magazine that holds the CO2, full blowback operation, single and double action trigger. You have the white dot sight on the back, recessed barrel. I mean, really nice gun. Only thing really negative about it is typically with these KWC, especially way back when they first came out, the finishes would come off on the high spots pretty easy. They still do on these guns. Just the way that they're finished. I think they're electroplated, electromagnetic plated, so the finish is nice, but it's just thin. Okay, so that's we'll leave this here. I even have an extra mag with this guy. And then, you know, we got some other guns from KWC, but distributed through companies like Swiss Arms, or with the Swiss Arms branding. I do like this version. It's really the same gun, just with different finishings. This is more of a stainless finish, right? Stainless and kind of parkerized or whatever you want to call it, and stainless, right? This one has the simulated wood grips, but it's really nice. It's essentially the same gun. You know, I could mix and match the parts. It's all from KWC. At the end of the day, you know, same gun, just different finish. Just depends what you like. I like this finish personally, so out of the two, so we'll leave that here as well. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to get into more of the traditional Berettas, and we have an Umarex Desert Storm. This was a limited edition gun, and the difference here between the Taurus, see here, is that you have the safety actually on the trigger there, okay, or on the slide. And these ones have this neat little guy here you can get down here, and you can go full auto or semi-auto right there. Now, with the GSG92, you can do the same thing. You have different safety levels, right? So you can have safe there, and then you have, I believe, semi-auto and full auto. I can't remember which is which, but one's full, one's semi, and one's safe, okay? So you can do that. Some of the original GSG92s didn't come that way, but you can see here, right? You've got the safety on, then you have, I think that's semi-auto, or it might be full auto, and one's full. I think that could be. I can't remember which is which, to be honest, but one's full auto and one's semi-auto, okay? So all of these guns, by the way, are essentially going to be semi and full auto. I do like the finish on this limited edition Desert Storm. Let me just get in there, okay? Pretty nice. It's got that sort of weathered look, right? So you're not going to have to worry about the high points. The high points are already kind of off of it. Full blowback operation, nice heavy slide. Nice full-size dropout metal magazine, okay? We'll just keep putting these on the table. And Basically this is the same gun. This is just the Model 92A1, and it's just a different finish. Okay, so this is the same gun. Okay, it's just finished different. It's the Pietro Beretta, standard Beretta. Okay, and you're gonna see it's the same gun. Okay, so just kind of really depends on what finish you like. And for some reason we're not closing up. That's interesting. Something's catching in there. Not sure why. Side catch release, I don't know. Anyways, shouldn't do that, but it is. Let's try the other magazine just for fun. Not sure why it's doing that. Okay. What's different about the mags, I wonder? Not sure, but one's catching on something. Interesting. Okay. I'm not shooting them today, so it doesn't matter. All right, so let's put this back over here. We have one more before I kind of tell you which one I like the best. And we have the ASG X9 Classic. Another BB gun. Again, all of these ones on the table are 4.5mm steel BB guns. Okay, like none of these guns are going to shoot super fast, just over 300 feet per second typically, right? Okay, getting a big pile here. So this gun is not. All these other guns are made by KWC. They're all distributed by different companies or whatever, like Cybergun would have done the GSG-92 Cybergun, also would have done the Swiss Arms. And then you've got Umrex that are distributing these guns, but they're all made in the KWC factory. ASG took a different manufacturing approach because I'm almost certain this isn't a KWC gun. I think it's a KJ Works gun because I noticed that the magazines for the KJ Works, they're not identical, but they fit in this gun, okay? So interesting, they fit quite well, they lock in place, so that gives me a pretty good indication that it's probably a KJ Works gun. Full blowback operation. Being that it's a KJ Works gun, this is going to be probably your best quality out of the bunch. KWC is fine, but KJ Works is a higher quality brand, just in terms of, you know, longevity, all of that kind of, you know, just workmanship, fit and finish. Everything's going to be slightly better on the KJ Works gun than a KWC. Nothing wrong with KWC. They're usually more cost effective, a little cheaper, but they, you know, they get the job done, but they might wear out a little quicker than a KJ Works gun would. Maybe not perform quite as, you know, consistently, right? So nice guns, all of these recessed barrels, all of that. I do like the mag and everything on here. You can see it's full-size dropout mag. So which is my favorite? Well, I'm going to split this into two. In terms of looks, I just really like the finish on the Swiss Arms version. This is again through Cybergun Swiss Arms. I really like the finish. It's just, it's nice. It looks really good. I just wish that the butt plate was finished in a similar way, but they didn't do that. I don't know why. That would have been the icing on the cake. But in terms of quality, I'm going to go with the ASG, right? I think that this ASG X9 Classic is the winner here in terms of quality and just, you know, the way it's going to shoot consistently and everything for us. I can't remember how they spec'd out in terms of accuracy and feet per second, but they should be probably pretty similar, all of these guns. All right, so let's move these off to the side. All right, so let's start with a KWA. Now we're moving on to Airsoft. So we have this KWA, and KWA and KJ Works are going to be very similar quality products. I might even give the edge to KWA. See if we can get in here. There we go. They're a really good brand, really high quality brand. They make really nice products. All of these guns are going to be either gas, so this is a gas magazine, or CO2. This is a gas magazine, so it's going to shoot a little slower, but you know, it's easy to throw gas in there real quick. It does have the red tip, but you could paint it if you want to. You could paint it black, which wouldn't be that hard, but it does come with the orange tip. That's a bit of a letdown. It's your standard Beretta, right? So it does have your Beretta safety, which is on the slide. It is a decocker, which is nice. This gun is single and double action, okay? So nice gun. I'm just going to keep working through here. Now I'm going to bring up these two KJ Works because they're kind of similar. One is the, what is this one? This is the KJ Works Full Metal M9, and let's take a look at it. So this is your more traditional M9. Okay, we're just going to put the box away right now. It does come with a speed loader, which is nice. And then we have, this is, I believe, the tactical version. Yeah, it's the M9 Tactical. Kind of like it, different grips. So we'll compare these two together real quick. Now you'll notice right away there's no red tip, so that's nice. Tactical version obviously has the tactical grips, right, with the finger grips. Okay, I like that. Really feels good. White dot sights, front and back. So does the other one. So does the KWA version, has the white dot sights front and back, right? So you do have no decocker though, okay? So just the KWA has a decocker, okay? The KJ Works does not have a decocker, but it is single double action. Now this is a CO2 mag instead of the KWA being a green gas mag, right? So you have the no red tip, but you do have the recessed barrel, right? Nice gun, all metal guns. These are all metal, all solid. So here's your typical M9, classic M9, same magazine, CO2, just different grips, right? A little bit different grips, a little bit different finish. You got a little bit more of a matte finish on this one, more of a satin, sort of, you know, typical blued version on this one. In terms of controls, it's really the same, okay? It's really the grips and the finish is going to be the difference. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to take a look at a Wii product. It just comes in this one came with an extended barrel to get it imported into Canada. I won't show you that, but it does have an extended barrel you can put on it. And what that does is helps for import in Canada. It makes it shoot a little faster, gets us up and over 360 FPS, but you don't have to use the extended barrel if you don't want to, right? It is a green gas gun. It's got a color matched magazine, which is nice, which the Swiss Arms had that because it definitely finishes it off. Full blowback operation, right? Recessed barrel. Does this one have a decocker? Yes, it does. Okay, so this one has a decocker as well. White dot sights front and back. Okay, let's get in here and we got to take a look at this one because it is really nicely finished. Okay, I do like the satin coloration on it. I don't remember how this gun performed. It's been so long, I don't remember. So you'll have to watch my video. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description, or at least some sort of a tag there. Right? You can search our Vimeo channel and see for yourself. Okay, I like the decocker. All of these guns that I've pretty much shown you today, other than the pellet versions, are field strippable. Okay, take the slide off, totally field strip them like you would a traditional gun. So nice. All right. Again, these guns are probably going to shoot just up and over 300 feet per second, maybe 350, 360. Actually, sorry, they should shoot around 360. The green gas guns will shoot a little slower than the CO2 guns, unless you put the extension barrel on here. This one, can't remember how we got it into Canada, but sometimes you can get it with the other mags, and then you can swap them out and get the green gas mag. So this one has CO2 mags as well, which makes the FPS go up a little higher. Helps with import, right? Green gas, sometimes you got to go with the longer barrel to get it in Canada. Once it's here, it doesn't really matter. It's just mainly for import. So what's my favorite out of all of these guys on the table? As much as I like the KWA in terms of quality, it's probably the best quality out of all of them. Really close to the KJ Works. Quality-wise, I'm going to say KWA, KJ Works. Wii is hit and miss. Some of their guns are awesome, and then some of them just are kind of like, just from what I hear, can be real lemons. So this could be one of the awesome ones, or it could be the lemon, right? But you know, you want consistency in terms of quality, and you're going to get that a bit more with the KWA and the KJ Works guns. So quality, definitely the KWA. In terms of looks, I do like the satin or the stainless finish. Excuse me. I had COVID about 2.5 weeks ago, so I'm still coughing a little bit. I just do that for a while when I get a cold, but I'm feeling great. I just have this cough a little bit. So what's my favorite gun here on the table? Probably if I had to pick one that I was going to use, or if I only could have one, I would probably pick the tactical KJ Works gun. Why? Because I like that it's CO2. It's going to shoot a little hotter. I like the weight. The grips are a little bit larger. I have big hands. I like the finger grips. I like that it doesn't have a red tip. And I like that kind of matte finish. So if I was going to use this for airsoft wars or something like that, or just as a daily shooter, or one that I shot often, this would probably be the one that I'm, at least out of these four. There's lots of different versions of airsoft guns out there. These are just the ones I happen to have. So yeah, nice guns, all these guns. I hope you enjoyed this video. We don't have all these products all the time in our Replica Airgun store, but we do have many different versions of the Beretta 92s, the M9s, right? Lots of different guns in airsoft, in pellet, in steel BB. So check out our online stores for these guns and other guns. We have replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaairguns.us for the US. Again, for Beretta guns, all kinds of guns, airsoft guns, BB guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories, of course. So check out those stores. Also come on down to replicaairguns.com where we have articles, posts, and reviews. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.